power of you controlling your breathing right now. Feel the power of you enjoying your greatest gift right now. That's you. That's your presence. That's your greatest power. Your power to determine to stay in the present, in the now, and be your true great being that you are. No matter what. In this present moment, everything is here you need right now. So let's see ourselves today doing the best we can in the gym of life. Here we are again. Controlling our minds. Controlling our breathing. One great thought at a time. One great breath at a time. So see yourself doing your best on all the exercises we do today together, here and now. That's your determination, your greatest power, power that's the same in you and every human being on the planet.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, bull riding in cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I kick on back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no
Yeah,
more.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Dope.
קפוץ על הכוון, יואו! יואו! ועוד פעם יואו! זה אחד השערים הכי גדולים שראינו בליגה הזאת! ומי שחתום עליו? פרטינית הגלה.
Good morning, guys. If we accept the idea that we are the programmers and that we can write the program, The final part of it is to live and run the program. Run the program, the new program of your mind. The current program that you are creating, the one where you know that you can be better than you were yesterday or than you were a second ago. And it is a process. It is a tough battle. But if you commit to it and if you live it and run the program that you write down and create for yourself, you are going to see incredible changes. And I want you to know that you're going to get challenged each and every moment. There are going to be voices in your head that are telling you, you can't do this, that you can't continue on, you're going to lose. You have to stand up and fight those voices every single day by living that new program. And eventually, it will become natural. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, it's Brendan Burchard, CEO and founder of Growth Day, and I am pumped to bring to you this month's topic of creating more meaning and fulfillment in our lives. This is probably the most important topic we can take on. We can teach you lots of health hacks. We can teach you, relationship stuff. We can teach you career and productivity and confidence and all these other things. But if you don't feel it, if life lacks that sense of meaning that feels almost magical or destined or you're deeply grateful for, if you're doing a lot of work but you don't feel fulfilled, then we've got to explore that. Because when you don't have meaning and fulfillment, what happens is that seeps into your sense of motivation, that seeps into your sense of energy. And unfortunately, that feeling or that lack thereof, it bleeds out into your relationships. Because when you don't feel a sense of meaning and fulfillment in many parts of your life, now you're much more likely to be in a place where you don't feel fulfilled in your relationship, where you don't sense the meaning is there, even if the other person is really trying hard for you. Because again, they can't bring that out of you. That's something you self-define. It's so important today to realize, wait a minute, my sense of meaning is something I have been cultivating. If your sense of meaning, on that scale of 0 to 5, if you're at a 5, that's not just how your day's going or how good the coffee was or not this morning. What it is that is a conditioned sense of feeling that has been going on for usually days, weeks, and months, leading to a 5 today. Meaning our overall sense of fulfillment and meaning in life are often not a result of today's momentary events, but rather a way that we have conditioned our mind, our attitude, our heart, the sense of our days with presence or not. It is something that we condition to a higher level. And that's something that I hope that you see is hopeful, that you can change, you can get better, and we're gonna do it today together. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna share with you what, if you're new to growth, I'm gonna share this framework that hopefully most of you have seen before. If you haven't, take notes today, because I'm gonna share with you everything you really want in life. In one picture, what we're all actually after is actually very simple. This is human psychology, it's universal, it's historic. There's no time in history that these things have not applied, and they apply now as well. This is just part of the human psychology. That this is what we all want. I got a little graphic here for you today. It's super pretty, I hope you can see it. Okay, so what do we all want? Take a screenshot. Okay, what do we all want? What we all want in life is aliveness. Aliveness is that sense of passion or higher positive emotion. It's that sense of vibrancy and presence to the moment. You felt it before. Some people call this being in the flow or being in the moment. Some people call it being spontaneous. Some people call it feeling passionate or adventurous or whatever. At the end of the day, you know what this means to you. And we all know when we don't have that sense of aliveness. We know you've been in a relationship before where that aliveness went away and you felt the quality of the relationship go down. You've started a new job or a new space before. You went into something new and you felt the aliveness of that novelty for a few weeks or months, and then it went away. Or maybe you've tried something new recently and you just felt so engaged with it. You were so interested in it. You're mentally absorbed or obsessed into it. And there's that sense of aliveness that comes from it. Whatever you describe that as, I just use the term aliveness. We're gonna talk about connection as well. That's your relationships. That's your connection with yourself, a relationship with self. It's also your connection with others, relationship with others. But you'll see down here, meaningful pursuits, like meaning and doing things that we find meaningful or fulfilling. It kind of lives down here, but notice it's a triangle. You can't take away any of these sides. Many people could be living meaningful lives, but they don't sense it because there's no aliveness or relationship to share it with. And so all these do rely on one another. In the middle, you'll see, if you can't read it, it says growth. Lots of people have meaning and fulfillment in their life, but they're still not happy because they're not sensing any growth or progress. Many of you have plenty of meaningful pursuits. You're doing incredible things, but you don't feel it. You're not happy. You don't sense an overall fulfillment in life, even if you're doing something meaningful. You know, I've been blessed to coach a lot of nonprofit executives throughout my career and have done a lot of work in the nonprofit space. It's kind of where I started my career, teaching nonprofit people and folks in my industry how to partner together to share messages out to the world that made a difference. And I remember working with so many nonprofit people who just felt like, I'm doing all of these things that I know are meaningful, but I'm still not fulfilled in my life. And that's where meaning and fulfillment kind of come together in this picture. You can have meaningful pursuits, but if your relationships are off, or you're not cultivating that sense of physical and mental vitality that is aliveness, then you don't feel fulfilled in life. Is that funny? Meaning you can be doing important things that do matter, but not really sense fulfillment yet. That's why we called this topic creating meaning and fulfillment in life. They go
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop. Skip it. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't got a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sexed and flown it. If you freak dead and own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sexed and flown it. Well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! It might seem crazy.
La jugada termine como termina, ¿no? Pero buena acción, yo creo que quizá. ¿Pero qué pasa? ¿Pero esto qué es? ¡Gol!
Good morning, guys. Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us as we close off with him that there are no overnight successes. There is no overnight success. When we go on our path to becoming our greater, better selves, we are going to want to see results right away. But it's just not the way it works. Nature, the universe doesn't work that way. You can become successful and achieve anything you want, but it takes time. And it's not an overnight success. We have to put that thought in our heads. We have to realize that we have to enjoy the process of becoming our greater selves. So Gary Vaynerchuk reminds us of this all the time. And you look at his story, if you look him up, it's taken him, well, I don't know, maybe 20 years of just pure, relentless, hard work at his business and becoming and developing the mindset he has. So let's remember from him as we go on our path. Have a great day, everyone.
AI is disrupting jobs we didn't quite imagine would be disrupted first. We thought it'd be accountants or whatever, and what it ends up being is artists, creators. I mean, I just saw a website today for model agency.
You can get an AI model?
Yep, and you can't tell. And so
Not-
you can
not too
define
surprising.
exactly what race, color, age, any requisite you want, and it makes it perfectly. It's going to change a lot of jobs. It's also going to offer a lot of opportunities. All of us will be thinking about AI strategy like in the late 90s. We all think about internet strategy when we're building businesses. We're lucky because the human population of most of the Western developed world is diminishing over time. It's aging, and we're not replacing ourselves. So we replace ourselves with AI and machines. So we're seeing at Amazon warehouses, a third of the Amazon workforce is robots, but they're 3 or 4 times more productive than humans. So therefore, we will see endless build-outs of robots instead of humans. It is augmentation of humans, and it's amazing.
Need motivation? Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation. Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I struggled to stay afloat. I quit on my business partner, and the thing that kept me motivated, that kept me going, was studying the stories of famous, successful entrepreneurs. And in their stories, it gave me the hope, the drive, the ambition, the thinking that maybe I can do it too, that extra bit of belief. And I still need their stories today, and I'm honored to share them with you here as well. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Raoul Paul, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
We're lucky because the human population of most of the Western developed world is diminishing over time. It's aging, and we're not replacing ourselves. So we replace ourselves with AI and machines. So we're seeing at Amazon warehouses, a third of the Amazon workforce is robots, but they're 3 or 4 times more productive than humans. So therefore, we will see endless build-outs of robots instead of humans. And AI is disrupting jobs we didn't quite imagine would be disrupted first. We thought it would be accountants or whatever, and what it ends up being is artists, creators. I mean, I just saw a website today for model agency. Obviously,
where you can get an AI model.
Yep, and you can't tell. And so you can define exactly what race, color, age, any requisite you want, and it makes it perfectly. So I'm like, okay, I didn't expect the modeling industry to get disrupted, because how many people actually go to catwalks? It's not. It's for video or photography. So it's going to change a lot of jobs. It's also going to offer a lot of opportunities. All of us will be thinking about AI strategy like in the late 90s. We all think about internet strategy when we're building businesses. Fine. Okay, we can deal with that. The issue is Moore's law and the exponentiality of all of this. So these language models, these large language models, LLMs, which ChatGPT came out with, are increasing exponentially in their power of an order of magnitude that we can't get our heads around, because we think in linear terms because we're dumb humans. So these things are doubling, tripling every year or less. And this was the fastest, you've heard me use this phrase before, the fastest adoption of technology in all history was crypto, blockchain technology. ChatGPT went from 0 to 100 million users in a month. Okay, so now we've got AI that is like a virus. It is so unstoppable. And we've got 2 or 3 different people building it at scale: Google, Amazon, Microsoft with OpenAI, and then Stability AI is an open source network AI, which is almost unstoppable because it's doubly viral. Because you've got, so this is going on. The computational power is exploding. The cost of compute is going down. And what it means is that AI becomes more and more powerful. So if you listen to Mo Gawdat, and he knows because he ran Google X, where a lot of this has been incubated, they discovered DeepMind. They were the people really to build out the large language models. He says, well, right now, specific AI is better at humans in almost everything it does. So specific AI has a better result set than any radiologist on Earth.
And just for people that don't know, specific AI or narrow AI it's one task. Go get good at reading an X-ray. Go get good at playing chess, playing Go, whatever.
Correct. So, okay, fine. They think that Mo Gawdat thinks that by the end of this decade, AGI, so that's a generalist AI. So like humans, or ChatGPT is a general.
You can navigate a grocery store. You can play chess. You can play in the markets.
Guess what the weather's going to be like?
Point it at anything.
Anything. You know, like I could ask you a question. You can ask me a question. So he thinks that with the computational power and the progression of where this is going, that it's almost certain that by the end of this decade, we get to the point where AI is smarter than humans. Now, we don't really worry about that because we already think it's smarter than us at doing certain things, and soon it'll be smarter than us at driving cars, and it's already smarter than us at flying planes. We just kind of take it for granted. We don't see it. But then if you get to the Ray Kurzweil singularity point, and Mo Gawdat says, okay, here's the really big problem, and this is exactly what Noah Harari says as well, is when you take it, extrapolate it a little bit further out into the future. So Ray Kurzweil's singularity moment is 2049. But even before then, it becomes 1,000 times smarter than the smartest person who ever lived.
Rule number 2 is buy Bitcoin now.
If I'm an investor who wants to, I feel like I don't have a big enough spot position in either Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Algorand, whatever, I'm looking to take out a position in. Would you say, in the next, either now or the next 3 months or 6 months is the time I should be looking to buy?
So you kind of either buy now And this is where the market is struggling with this, because few people have flipped out because they made some money, got called the low. The people with shorter term time horizons. Others like it's overbought, but usually these kind of conditions are where you tend to get these crazy legs to the upside because everybody's underweight, because everyone's got the same thing as you, is I don't have enough spot. Oh, shit, what do I do? Then you have to FOMO in and you'll end up FOMOing too high. So this is how it is written. It is always this way. And so my best guess, and I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball, but usually because it's set up like this, the path of most pain is higher. And then once everybody goes, right, it's going, it's running, is usually when this correction happens. So do you get another chance to buy it again at these levels if you miss it now? Maybe. We don't know if it has that downward correction or the sideways correction. You will get a time to buy it after a consolidation later. But really, I would be, and this is what I've been doing, is buying, I was buying from June onwards as much as I could with any cash flow I got, because I'm still fully invested in crypto. I never sold anything, but I've been any cash flow I can, just putting it in is okay. Even now, I've just put money in recently, expecting a higher move. And then if that consolidation comes, that's when I would add some more again.
Crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel
Good morning, guys. I want to share with you a story from Les Brown again today in order to laugh in terms of our being on our path to infinite mind wealth, and just to know and be aware that either it might be you or it might be people around you, it might be our children. There are times when we look at them and, you know, there may be times for yourself where you may be getting into trouble, making mistakes, this and that. Well, I remember Les Brown sharing a story where his mom was referring to his childhood and saying, when Les finally achieved his dreams and he was able to buy a home for his mom, she said to him, I could never have imagined this happening. You know, you were always getting into things when you were young, Les Brown. You were always getting into trouble. I could never have imagined this. So it just reminds me that we're always going to be on our path to making mistakes. And some of those people around us that we think they're always getting into trouble, we're all trying to figure it out. They're all on their path. So I just thought it was so funny. Never underestimate ourselves. Have a great day, everyone.
Rouse yourself to action, Seneca says. Shake off the habit of overthinking with hard work. Putting stuff off is easy, right? Seneca says the one thing all fools have in common is that they're getting ready to start. They're doing it later. In Meditations, Mark Aurelius talking to himself says, you could be good now, instead you choose tomorrow. So what is the hard thing you have to do? What is the thing you're putting off? Do it now. Get it out of the way. Cross it off the list. Challenge yourself. Get stronger for having wrestled with it, having crossed it off the list, having done it. Don't wait. Don't say you're warming up to it. Don't say you'll do it after this, after that, when this is finished, when things are easier. It won't be easier. Do it now while it's hard, because it's hard. We are what we do. That's what habit and virtue is. How do I become more virtuous? Aristotle says, same way you become a better builder, by building more stuff, by doing the work. Epictetus, he says, don't talk about your philosophy, embody it. Talking about it, journaling about it, that's a form of practice for sure, but it's mostly about making the choices, taking the action. It says our capability, it's confirmed and it grows through the actions that we take. He says, if you want to do something, if you want to be something, you have to make a habit of it. And so that's the essence of all of these choices. You practice them big and small. You choose them over and over and over again until they become part of your muscle memory. They become part of who you are.
Need motivation?
Watch your top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Ryan Holiday, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is develop self-discipline.
What's the number one cause of injury for athletes? It's overtraining, right? So you're ordinary person. It's like you're not training enough. You're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
But then at a more elite level, at a more accomplished level, actually the trouble is, hey, the race isn't for 6 weeks. Like, do you want to peak now, or do you want to peak at the right moment, right? Yeah. Or this is just a practice session. You don't have to go all out. Or, it's a long season. Are you prepared for that? And so, discipline has to be balanced with sustainability, with rest, relaxation, recuperation, recovery, all these other things. And that requires kind of a spiritual discipline on not just, hey, I can run an hour without getting tired, but can I stop myself from doing that? Yeah. That's not what I should be doing in this moment. And I think at the end of the day, self-discipline is the ability to have an emotion, an instinct, a feeling to do a thing, and then to catch yourself and go, is that actually the right thing to do? Yes or no? And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's, hey, it's cold outside and it's 5 a.m. and it's still dark and I don't want to get up. But I have to get up because I've made these commitments. I'm behind, blah, blah, blah. And other times it is to stay in bed, right? Just like, sometimes you feel that surge of temper coming on and you have to go, no, that's not a good, it's always the ability to step back, put the emotion, the instinct, the opinion to the test. And I think you learn this in meditation. I think you learn this for Stoicism in the journaling of going here's the thing, and I can choose it or not. I can choose to identify it or not. It is not me. The Stoics have this word ascent, right? Not like ascent up a mountain, but A-S-S-E-N-T,
Do you assent to the feeling or not? Do you agree to it, rubber stamp it, approve it, go along with it or not?
Do you subscribe? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what discipline is about. What do you assent to and what do you not assent to?
Rule number 3 is start journaling. What has been the value of writing on your life? The unobvious stuff, the unobvious upsides that you've experienced from writing?
Nothing clarifies what you think quite like the practice or the exercise of writing something down. At Amazon, if you want to launch a new project or you're suggesting a change, if you want to call a meeting, you have to write it out. You have to create a written agenda. In some cases, you have to write a press release for that thing you're proposing. You have to write like a written pitch for the whole thing. And it's not so much for the communicating it to the other people, but it's also about the forcing you to go through the process of figuring out what you think and why, and the problems with it, the contradictions of it. Like being forced to write it down is just so different than it just bouncing around in your head or riffing on it. There's just something very, very powerful about writing. And, anyone that sat down to write a book, I think you think, well, I know this better than anyone. I'm really excited about it. Then you sit down and that kind of enthusiasm or interest, that can get you like the first 10 pages. And then you just go you're just spent. And then you go, well, what comes next and how do they build on each other? You have to have a plan. You have to have a system, a structure. You have to have solved the whole thing before you can write it. You can't just figure it out on the fly, right? The stream of consciousness stuff, it doesn't work. And so writing is just really, really powerful. I'm a huge believer in all these other mediums, and I make content in all these other mediums, but I write the ideas first. And it comes from the books. The books is the synthesis of all of it. And then if I'm doing a TikTok or Instagram or an article, it's all broken out from the process of having spent many, many, many hours sitting and thinking about and trying to come up with the best way of expressing this very complicated idea.
Rule number 4 is make beautiful choices.
Everyone
on our breathing. Back straight, eyes closed, legs crossed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power that you're using to control your breathing. Your connection to oneness, to what we all really are, to the truth. The ultimate truth. That you were born to win control over your mind. That when we all do that, we find out the truth of who we all really are. Infinitely intelligent beings, powerful beyond measure.